And we're live. What's up, guys? Friends from work. And we're going to talk about this James Gunn dump that just happened. This is an emergency 911 thing, so we're scrambling a little bit from a technology. So just bear with us.
And it's winter apocalypse here in Dallas.
Everybody come on, let's get down. Get down.
Thank you, Frank Bass. And by the way, I sent out for the music. It's so awesome. It's dope. It's so dope. So I sent out a link to friends. Anybody that wants to jump on this is just a loose thing. Courtney Cheek cannot join us, unfortunately. This is a very spontaneous deal. Brian is stuck in Dallas with bad weather, so I was able to catch him. And then we have the
snow day, and Rick texts me and says, "Hey, man, be on camera in 10 minutes."
Oh, that's right. I'm working from home today.
I got the same problem.
I scrambled.
Yeah, right.
But we've got Aaron Viola.
Dude, oh my God. Yes. Aaron Verola.
I know. I love you. So from the Fanboy Garage, my dear friend Aaron, my New York compadre. All right, listen, guys. Aaron, I know we only have you for like 10 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So James Gunn just released a video, and I saw a little bit of it. I was trying to do a real true live reactionary thing. I know a couple of things I wish I didn't know for this video, but I don't know all of it, so this will be fun. Mm-hmm. Have you guys looked at it yet? Do we know?
I did.
You did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Okay, you did. So how should we do this?
I saw the video, and I also read the variety piece.
So that variety piece, where's that at on my phone? All I can say is, okay, let me, Aaron, since you're gonna have to jump off. What's your initial thoughts here? How do you feel about this?
So I'm a jaded DC fan. I'm cautiously optimistic that they can pull it off, but I'm not 100% sold on all of it. At least I know that there's a plan, but like there have been plans before. There's been many different slates before, so sure, you know, a lot of this is very loose. There's no real concepts. The only sure thing is that he's going to be bringing Superman Legacy to the screen in 2025. So he's writing it. We'll see where it goes. But you know, I think there's a couple of interesting things based on, you know, some of the stuff that was said. Obviously, full connection of TV and in cinema, right? So he's stitching that whole universe together. He's going to be bringing some really obscure DC characters, you know, by way of animation. But then he wants to bring those characters to life in live action. That's interesting. I think the most interesting stuff that he said was actually in the beginning of his video. He talked about the separation between the DCEU, which is the thing that he's standing up, and then everything else that's sort of pre-existing. So the Batman Part 2 and Joker, the sequel to the Joker. Those are what he considers to be Elseworld stories. So, you know, things that have the characters but are obviously, you know, different.
So we're not tying that into a DCEU.
Those are not going to be part of the DCEU.
Here's
what will be part of the DCEU, which is the other thing that he said that was interesting.
Yeah.
Shazam is part of the DCU.
Well, I think what he's saying there, if I may,
called it the DCU.
I saw that part. Yeah, because I like I said, I cheated and saw some of the video. Okay, my impression, and because I was just sort of watching it and everything quickly. Okay, so here's my impression of that. That's on the fucking books, man. The thing's filmed. It's coming out. He can't.
Yeah, and he can't bump it. He can't say it. He could say it's an Elseworld story, but he didn't say that. He said it's part of the DCU. He said Aquaman was part of the DCU. Flash is part of the DCU. Blue Beetle is part of the DCU.
Right, but what
I'm looking forward to that one. Okay,
but what did he say specifically about Flash?
He's like, that's the one that kickstarts that kind kind of like
reboots. It reboots.
So okay, so back up just a second.
It's resetting the universe that is in your head. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so back up just a second here, because you kind of jumped this whole thing off saying that James Gunn's dump. And what is this? This is the next 10 years?
Yeah, 10 to 15 year project.
This is all DC for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a lot. I mean, again, he's got live action something called the Lanterns, which he'll focus on the Green Lanterns. He's bringing the Swamp Thing.
Okay.
What was the other? Oh, Booster Gold will also have something. So he's, I
Okay.
mean, he's throwing a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
think the other part too was he's bringing his own Batman, and
That's a big
that
one. He's
Batman
bringing his own
comes,
Batman. It's confirmed.
yeah, that Batman
Okay.
comes with a Robin. So it's the Brave and Bold, and it is Damian Wayne, as his Robin.
Okay.
Yes.
Love
So
it. So,
here's
if
an
this is
interesting-
the next 10 years, what's your opinion? How much do you think they're going to stick to this? How set in stone is the whole thing?
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Because Aaron, it's real simple. All that has to happen is that these films have to do well. These films do well.
Superman is the one.
Superman's the one. That's the
Okay.
core. That's
Yeah.
it. Superman has to work.
He's spending a lot of time. It seems like he's really focused on that.
And when is the last time Superman, and man, I know this is going to piss off a lot of people. This has nothing to do with your own personal opinions of anything. It has nothing to do with your love of Henry Cavill or Man of Steel or even Justice League, BVS, whatever. But truly, gentlemen, when's the last time a Superman film truly worked on screen? Here's what I mean by that. It had good reviews. It had goodwill from the audiences and did at least relatively well in box office. It's probably the second Superman film with Chris Reeve, which was Superman 2. If you really think about it, if we just want to be intellectually honest about this, that's probably the last time a Superman film resonated. Okay. Right. 3 and 4 did not. Superman Returns did not. There was not a sequel. Man of Steel was very divisive. B versus S was even more divisive. And obviously the rest is history. So he has to make that Superman has to be a home run, in my opinion. It has
Well, the Superman on film is a problematic character because the Christopher Reeves movies were amazing. I love those too. I was hoping you were going to list those out. But that was back in an era when a superhero could literally just be virtuous. He could literally just be a good guy, sweep in, rescue everybody, and that was as complicated as it needed to be. And everybody loved him. These days, it's got to be far more complicated. He's got to have a motivation. He's got to have a backstory. He's got to have a struggle. If he doesn't have those things, it's a poorly written surface level character. And that's hard to do with Superman because he's just Superman.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Aaron, you've got a few minutes here. So what do you?
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like so based on what he's writing, it is and this kind of ties to the variety piece because they add a little bit more context and color to what Gunn is planning, but it's going to be a toss up between sort of this balance, but for Superman, dealing with his heritage, the Kryptonian side, and him being fundamentally raised a human, and that kind of push and pull that happens there.
Okay,
so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, he's writing it, which I thought was also sort of okay. The other thing, pieces of content that he's going to be focused on is Waller. This is the only person that's been cast, by the way. Is what's her name? Angela Davis, right? Angela Davis.
And Angela Davis, is it?
Is it?
You're worse with names than I am.
I really
She's
am.
Awesome though, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, he's cherry picking the things that have worked for the DCEU proper and plugging them in. The other thing too was that he didn't say anything about Peacemaker. He said that folks from Peacemaker would pop up in Waller, but Peacemaker 2 seems like it's on hold, which is surprising.
Did he say it's on hold?
It's not, but he didn't talk about it. So that's not, and that's that's his baby.
Did he get into streaming at all?
Yes, most of the stuff that he talked about. So I forgot the name of the show, the Wild. Hold on, I don't even remember the name of the characters. The animation show, the animation piece is streaming. The it sounds like the Lanterns is streaming.
It's live action, not animated.
No, yeah, I don't know if it's I think it's live action. But either way, it doesn't really matter because what he also mentioned was that when he voice casts actors for the animation stuff, he wants them to be able to play their live action versions.
Love it.
So, I mean, I think it's as I'm talking about this is an audacious approach for him to kind of swing for the fences like this. I really hope that this come to fruition because it's a lot.
What's the first film on the slate that's not already been in production?
It's Batman. I'm sorry, it's Superman.
Superman is the first.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It's 2025. I mean, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, he's gonna be
Yeah.
casting that soon. He's probably already got his
He
eye
probably
on
already
people.
has it.
Sure,
Yeah.
he probably does. And I'm far too old to throw my name back in that hat. Brandon Routh stole my legacy and my career.
Please.
That's fine. I wouldn't have met. I would have met. I already knew Brian. Brian would be a millionaire because I would have set him up too. But here we are.
Yeah.
All right, so if he's redoing Superman, the question that I got off the top of my head right now is who's going to play Jor-El?
I mean, I'm thinking about this to the entire
Ben
cast.
Affleck.
Ben-
Sorry.
I love that.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
That's
there was
great.
the other thing too. He's doing Paradise Lost, which is like a prequel series to Wonder Woman.
So there,
about
yeah.
Queen Mascara.
Okay.
Okay.
And Brian, he's about to jump off, so we'll
Yeah.
pull up the article and we'll kind of talk more
Yeah,
about
definitely.
that.
You guys need to dig into it because there's a lot of stuff that he. I mean, it's a 5-minute video. He kind of he lays the foundation, talks about what's considered DCU, what's not considered DCU, how does he going to start this, and Superman being really the first thing that kicks everything off. And then he just kind of peppers everyone with a bunch of content.
All
And
right.
he said there's more. There's more. This is just the start.
This is just
All
the
right.
start. All right. So you've got to jump. I know you have a call. You're in New York. You're an hour ahead of
I'm a
us.
busy man.
We're in
What,
Tejas.
what can I tell you?
Why don't you plug something real quick, buddy?
Yeah, so definitely check out my show, The Fanboy Garage. You can check us out on wherever you find great podcast and streaming services, whatever. If you want to get with us and start having a conversation, find us on Twitter and on Instagram, and that's probably the best place for us.
Well, I will see you this year.
Yes, sir.
Me and Jenna, my stepdaughter, are going to take another New York trip, and this time we're going to bring my youngest daughters with us because they're ready for New York.
Amazing.
So it's going to be me and a bunch of ladies. So meet up with us.
Sounds like fun.
All right, buddy. Thanks for
Okay.
jumping on, dude. I
Take
appreciate
care.
it. Thanks for your insight. Love you,
Of
man.
course. All right. Bye, guys.
Have a great day.
See you.
All right. Looks like it's just you and I. So why don't we get into this
Yeah.
a little for a few minutes here, Brian? So, and for those that are watching, well, we appreciate it. Some of this is live, and we'll obviously we'll post this up. We finally launched the podcast last week. Me, Brian, and our other partner in crime, Courtney Cheek. We had a really successful first episode. We love you guys for watching. Thank you so much. We are in the process of editing and getting everything approved for the podcast stream for iTunes and Google Play. So episode 1 should be up on those platforms, hopefully in the next 48 hours. Because of that, we're going to skip episode 2 this week because it streams live on Wednesdays on YouTube. And then from there, what we want to do is we want to have the podcast version up within 24 to 48 hours max. If we were to release episode 2 this week, we would be chasing from last week. So we're going to play catch up. All right. So tune in next Wednesday for our episode 2. And then this week we will put in an announcement once we're live on iTunes and everything. So everybody can subscribe there. For now, we've got a reactionary video.
All of the 80 people that are already following us on YouTube, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Bring the friends.
That's right. We need 20 more to reach 100, and then
20.
we can start really.
And then we
building
can
it back up.
retire. We're good. We're good at that point.
And then
we're
we can
done.
start
We're
building back up.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So listen, like I said, I inadvertently cheated a little bit. I didn't look at the article, but I watched a little bit of the video. Then I turned it off. Can we play this video? What's the deal here? How does that work?
I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and play it on my screen here.
Let's see what
I have
happens.
no idea how to. Is there a share screen button?
I don't know. See, I mean, we can add video clip, but when we've done this, it's something we already have downloaded.
It's something you got to download, right?
Yeah. So I don't know how you do this. How do you share the screen here? All right, let's not.
We're missing that. Just go ahead and play it.
Let's do this. Let's just do this. Let's pull up the article and let's talk about the article. We've got the Variety article right. Where'd it go? Right. There,
Well, I'll tell you,
right
I've got the video here. I can play it and see if you guys are able to hear it. Let me play it real quick and see if you're able to hear it.
Play it. Let's see what happens.
Could you hear that?
No, nothing.
No. Okay, then never mind. All right, what'd you get the article? Throw me the link.
All right, so here we go. It's on that texter with me and Courtney. Do you still need it? I'll text it to you right now. I'll send you separately.
Hold on. I got you.
Yeah. But
There it is.
There it is. All right, so this is for Variety. So Gunn and Saffron met with press, and they are calling Chapter 1 of the DCU Gods and Monsters. The projects run the gamut. Titles based on marquee DC heroes. So yeah, here it is, officially Superman Legacy. So here's the craziest thing about, like we were talking about Superman.
Yeah,
this has to be done right.
Oh yeah,
he hit a home run with this. I trust that he will. If you even watch Guardians of the Galaxy, those films are very funny. And they have a lot of heart. They're very sweet. And I feel like those are attributes, characteristics of James Gunn as a writer, filmmaker that is much needed in a Superman film with the right balance of action and, excitement and what have you. And so I think that we're in good hands there. I've never been this huge James Gunn fan. I've always, admired his work and appreciated him. But he's now going from Marvel into more our world, which is more for you and I, more DC fans,
Yeah.
and touching upon some of our most beloved characters, Superman being one of them. I'm curious to know with the Superman, is he going to? He's going to have a younger Superman. Is I don't know if he's.
Well, he's going to have a younger. So here's one of the things I'm seeing just on the first, because I'm reading this while you're talking here, is they're going to have more than one universe, and I'm loving that because that opens the door for different characters, such as the last Batman movie, the last Batman, the last Joker movie. It allows us to continue them without having to create a unified, coherent world, which that is exciting because we get to actually get all the different flavors. DC has such a wonderful range of flavors and vibes and energy and art, and that's kind of exciting that he's not intending on just unifying everything.
100%. With that said, though, it is important to point out that just at the top of that video, his emphasis is on look, this is the time for DC to truly be connected. I mean, he's putting emphasis to the contrary. Yeah. However, he's pointing to things like Matt Reeves' universe and, Todd Phillips' Joker, that we're going to leave those things the fuck alone. Obviously, they are in their own world. And so is he calling it Black Label? What is he calling? What is he actually calling the ones that don't fall under the core thing here? I'm curious to know what he's calling that. I don't know. Black Label wouldn't be actually accurate. That wouldn't be the way to refer to that. But it's standalone. He's calling it something. So it'll have its separate label. Brave and Bold. Okay, so this Brave and Bold thing is fascinating because
what's Brave and Bold?
Well, we're getting a Batman with Damian as his Robin, which is Ra's al Ghul's daughter, Talia. It's her. She's the mother, and then obviously Bruce Wayne is the father, and he's an assassin, and it's a very interesting dynamic. It's not a Tim Drake. It's certainly not a Dick Grayson, but I think what he's wanting to do, like if we're going to do a live action Robin, I think it's easier to tackle a character like this incarnation of Robin, this version of Robin. So that's fascinating in itself. And to have such a core reference for something that's, it's the Brave and the Bold. And it's going to, it even says here in quotes, he's going to introduce the Bat family. Fully returning to live action for the first time since 1997, the ill-fated feature Batman Robin. I still will say that John Blake's Robin is a hybrid Robin and should be considered a Robin from Dark Knight Rises, but that's okay. I understand what they're saying. Fully in costume and everything. A true Robin. I understand there's a distinction. I'm just a Rises apologist, so I have to make sure I get that on the record. But
I'm going through the article here. And what I'm seeing is the slate that the co-leads announced on Monday runs through 2027, and only Superman Legacy and Batman Part 2 have set release dates.
There's a release date for the Batman 2? What?
There's a release date for the Batman 2. Hold on.
I didn't know that. Let me see. Where the fuck is
I'm not seeing it. I'm
sorry. This one's rated R. Sorry.
I'm
where the heck is it? I'm gonna stop the F-bombs.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a date for the second one. They've got Superman Legacy, July 11, 2025. That is 2 days before my birthday. That's gonna be great.
Okay, I can't find the release date. It will not
be an origin story.
Damn it! Where's the release date for the Batman 2?
I'm not seeing it. I don't know. But it's not going to be an origin story for Superman. That's fantastic. We've seen it. It's like Spider-Man. We've seen it so many times. We don't need another one.
It's just, and to give Matt Reeves credit, he made a Batman story that was a quasi origin from the sense that it's year one Batman essentially. But we don't actually even see the murder of his parents, which
Yeah.
great. We didn't need you. Quite frankly,
We,
the
we've
best
seen it so
version
many
of
times it was becoming a trope.
well, and I'll give Zack Snyder credit. The version in
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman is the most powerful version on film. That's a strong scene. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And so where do you go with that? Nolan did it great. Burton did it great. In fact, Joe Schumacher did it just fine too. There's some good stuff in Batman Forever where that's concerned. All right, so I'm gonna go over to Twitter here. I want to know what this release date for the Batman is. Where are we on this? Because I'm just so stoked for that, man.
Yeah.
I love that we have, and see, we're going to have two. Okay, oh, here's something that's worth pointing out. Michael Keaton's Batman is likely done. So at first, when he was cast in this, they had big plans to use him, and he was going to sort of become the DCEU Batman, so to speak. And that's been pretty validated by the fact that he was in Batgirl. And I think one of the reasons Batgirl was probably scrapped is that probably had a lot to do with it. That was just going to complicate things more. Now, I know that happened prior to James Gunn coming on, but let's face it, all this stuff is a work in progress behind the scenes. Those kind of things don't happen overnight, right? And so who knows exactly all the reasons why, but Batgirl wasn't just some shitty thing that people watched and didn't want to release it. I think it's more complicated than that. So
there's a whole lot going on there. Okay, so let me go through. Let me go through for the people that are watching, because we're already getting deep into characters and topics and conversations and directors and everything else.
Yeah,
let me do a really, really brief summation here. So we got movies, Superman Legacy, set July 11, 2025, and it will be based on him and balancing Kryptonian heritage with human upbringing, and 4-quadrant film that should speak to everyone in the world. I'm loving that. That sounds fantastic. We've got The Authority, ensemble movie about superhumans who have a less than idealistic approach to saving the world. Love that. That sounds like anything. These like The Boys. I'm trying not to throw too many other names out here, but like The Boys and some of the others where it sounds a little bit more real world. We got The Brave and the Bold, Robin version of Damian Wayne. Gunn describes him as our favorite Robin, a little son of a bitch, an assassin, and a murderer. Okay, cool,
a little son of a bitch. Yeah,
I'm on board with it. So we got Supergirl, Woman of
That's
Tomorrow.
Smart, I think.
Yeah, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Gunn calls this Supergirl much more hardcore, though King's series also includes Crypto Superdog. Yes. We got Swamp Thing coming in. That's fantastic. I would love to see that on film. We got for television, we got Creature Commandos. What is Creature Commandos? Weasel. Okay, so I got to go back through that, but we got Creature Commandos. We got Waller. Waller is going to be amazing, and we still got Viola Davis, and she is absolutely fantastic. I think she's one of the best castings they've done so far. We got Lanterns. Greg's vision is much more of a space opera. Our vision is much more of a true detective, terrestrial-based investigation story. Love that. We got Paradise Lost, which is
a Wonder Woman prequel,
Themyscira, right? What's that?
It's a Wonder Woman prequel, right?
It's Themyscira before the birth of Diana.
Yeah.
It's really a political intrigue behind a society of all women. Cool, man. I'm on board with that. And we got Booster Gold, and Gunn added Booster Gold is imposter syndrome as a superhero, and I love that line.
Did you know in Milton's Paradise Lost, that's actually where the apple comes from, that the actual specific fruit is not in the Bible? Did you know that? It's actually from literature. It's not from, well, it's all literature. But
I know that the apple is not necessarily in the Bible, and everybody has debated for years as to what fruit it would be. But
anyway, just moving on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good little trivia in there, man. Thank you.
I have a few.
So for the people that are watching, that's the base of what I'm seeing here. So,
wait a minute. Hold.
What?
Stop. I'm going to stop the press.
What'd you find?
Little Jack Napier Joker line there when he sees Vicky Vale. Stop the press. Okay. Anyway,
stop the press. No, I got you. Where does he get all those wonderful toys?
Am I looking at these dates right? Are we getting Superman Legacy and the Batman Part 2, which I think that's a cool title. They actually call it that, Part 2. It's not 2, it's Part 2. It's like a book. It's a chapter, which you could kind of tie into his diary. And I don't know. I mean, I love thinking about this.
Okay, you're going deep into Part 2.
Are these 3 months apart? Is that it?
Did you what you found the date? Where's the date?
So where did that go? I had it. It was somebody had it. Was that John Campea? Who the hell just had that? And my freaking timeline just refreshed. I hate Twitter doing this.
Yeah.
Could Elon Musk at least fix that? or was that just
Oh,
user?
by
Is
the
that
way,
right? Okay, the film. Okay, the Batman title, the Batman Part 2, is released on October 3rd, 2025. Oh, I'm so stoked for that. So what?
wow,
Okay, so October 2025, and when is Superman's release?
it's July 11, 2 days before my birthday.
2025, obviously.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go, dude. We're getting a Superman live action film and a Batman live action film back to back. Now,
Okay.
those two things aren't connected from and from a universe perspective, but just us as fans, we're getting those two films back to back. So see, and then that Superman will intermingle with Matt Reeves, or I'm sorry, James Gunn's Batman. So
Right.
we're going to see Michael Keaton for the last time, to go back to that, by the way, and The Flash, which is fine. Just him doing it again is great. It's his swan song. I really think this is going to be something special. I really do, and I think that they're going to dump Ezra Miller anyway.
Yeah.
I think he's a liability. I mean, he is a liability.
There's too many strikes that he's got going against him. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. So 2025 is going to be a fantastic. So if they're hitting that hard with DC in the theaters in 2025, my first question is, what's Marvel doing, and are they going to be head to head? So what I'm seeing with Marvel is you got Fantastic Four in February, which hoping they can finally land one of those. And you got Avengers Kang Dynasty in May. So it sounds like the first half, and Secret Wars in May. So it sounds like the first half of 2025 is going to be Marvel. The second half is going to be DC. Love that.
Likewise, I feel you.
That is going to be fantastic.
And then
Split
for
that
you
up
and
and let
I,
them get some momentum.
There's so much Star Wars intermingled in this as well. We've got Celebration
Yes.
that's going to be in London. There's going to be big announcements. I really do think that we're going to hear something about Rey coming back, Daisy Ridley.
It is a good time to be a geek, my friend.
It's a great. We launched this show at the right time, my friend. And oh my God, Brian, and this is why we launched this show, for this kind of stuff. And we do wish, Courtney, we love you. We wish you were here with us, our dear friend.
Yes.
But this is a spontaneous video. Now, Brian, before we wrap this up, because you just did a nice recap, this is our good reactionary video. Give me just give me your initial final thoughts on this. I mean, you kind of just did, but put a bow on it. How you feeling?
I'm loving that it's not going to feel quite so scattered and random. I think, and I called this out a long time ago. I think the biggest mistake that DC EU made was trying to go, if I'm going to use Marvel as a parallel, because Marvel created a coherent universe. Marvel did a bunch of movies before they hit Avengers. And then did a bunch of movies before they did the next team up, and did a bunch of movies before they did the next team up. And each one added to the story. It built the characters. It did this entire thing. It felt like DC has been since then. We're coming out with one movie, and now it's Justice League. Slow down. Oh, now it's another Justice. Okay, slow down. So what I'm loving about this is it feels like, instead of them trying to get to Endgame before having done all of the buildup, it feels like now we've got somebody in charge who's actually going to do a buildup. He's got a coherent plan. He's got a coherent mission. It's worked for Marvel. It's working for Star Wars right now. And DC has deserved it. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that we've had somebody actually at the helm guiding a coherent story and coherent universe. And it really does feel like up until now, it's been every 3 or 4 movies they do a reboot, and you can't get very far with that. So I'm super eager to see where this goes.
Likewise. And I like how, there's some core things from the Snyderverse that are being, like Amanda Waller, for instance. And Jason Momoa is obviously confirmed to continue on. And
is he really? That's fantastic.
Yeah. We'll see exactly where that goes, but he's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And then what, the whole Shazam thing, like that was on top of the show with Aaron, or the top of this called a show. I don't think we're going to see.
We're at a half hour, my friend. This is a show.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it again. All right, yeah, this is a half hour video, so we're gonna wrap this up. All I can say, here's my takeaways from this. My favorite thing is the Batman Part 2. I love that we're getting a James Gunn Batman. I'm very fascinated by the whole thing with Damian. That's really cool. And I want to call some of my friends that are really educated on Robin and his backstory, like Ryan Haas, and get his thoughts on
Yeah.
this. But my biggest question too is that we're going to have 2 simultaneous Robins, because for Matt Reeves to do a definitive trilogy, I really need him to do a Robin for us. Nolan gave us a little wink, little kiss, but we need a Robin. So maybe we have a Dick Grayson, and then maybe we have a Damian, and that's everybody wins. So I'm with you. I'm excited. Let's see what happens. This is such great news. Great time to be a geek. Let's get out of here.
Do we know if, I got one more question for you real quick. Do we know if, because Waller's coming in, we don't know about Peacemaker. Do we know if the relaunch of Suicide Squad if that whole thing is sticking around?
I don't know. It didn't do well at the box office, but it
Really?
was also still like COVID was still weird. Now, Spider-Man fucked that all up, because that does $40 billion, and like, where do the excuses go? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really liked it.
Okay.
And then our buddy was in it, and he got killed.
I got a couple of friends that are in it that got killed. So
yeah, we got to have some of those on the show. All right, guys. So once again, episode 2 of this will be next Wednesday. So that way, this week we can get our iTunes episode 1 up and running. So then those are only like 24 hours apart. Brian's got a movie review going to be coming out this week too. What's the movie?
I'm now committed.
Now you're committed. What are you reviewing for the show?
It is Shotgun Wedding.
Shotgun Wedding. There we go. We got a press release, press screening link. So thank you for that. I can't say their names, but anyway, all right. We're going to get the hell out of here. Tune in with the friends from work, Rick Shue, at Shue Rick, and Brian Chatlin, Courtney Cheek. We love you guys.
I'm your friendly neighborhood photographer at Chatlin Photo.
At Chatlin Photo. All right. Peace out. Bye-bye.
See you, man.
Get down.